What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. And today we're going to be making my favorite candle, which is the golden pineapple candle. I'm not going to hold you for too long, and I'm not going to talk your ear off. But let's get on to the video. Grab you something to snack on, grab you something to drink, and let's just have it done. And while I talk, we can go over some things, tips and tricks that I have learned over the time that I have started my candle making journey and my business. The first thing I learned when making candles is write everything you do down to the point that you should be able to follow your instructions to a T, and it shouldn't be no mistakes. Write how much wax you use, how much each ounce of fragrance you use, how much, even to your coloring, how many drops you're adding, how many, just really record all the details, how long it takes to cure, how much wax do each mold takes. Because what you're trying to do is, we're trying to mitigate all the extra wax so you don't waste any wax or make too much of something and now you basically got too much of it and now you got to figure out how to use it. So write down everything to the exact temperature you pour, add fragrance and everything. And that brings me on to my next step. Step 2. You will mix. Try to figure out what you want to mix up. Before I even made the candles, I could get a scent profile. I just started mixing the oils together. And then I was like, but I also kept a record, and it was just based off of one candle. So you don't really have to do 3 candles and write that down. You can use quick math or whatever. Do work on one candle. Say I put like 16 ounces. Well, that's a lot, but I'm trying to give you an example. 16 ounces of my jasmine oil, and I just try to see what I make from that candle. And then all you gotta do is just times everything by 3. And now you bulk 3 order of this and this, which was, in my opinion, everything was okay to me. My little candle paper, I got a recipe card to all my candles because all my candles are different, especially when it comes to the essential oils I add to my candles and everything. But when I first started, it was a headache trying to figure out the conversion. Also, since I deal with different layers to my candles, like the tops, the actual layer, I do everything separately. I don't do it all in one batch. Well, I'll melt the wax in one batch, but I add scent to different, if it makes sense. I add scents to different things, so the scent can be powerful throughout the candle. I don't add 3% scent to the top layer and then 19% onto the base. I don't do that. It's all together, and that's one way I do it. I didn't even say the second step. I just went to organic. At this point, I don't know. I'm just gonna give advice. I don't know. I've started doing steps. I'm gonna be able to. But my example is, I stir my fragrances at usually 180 to 170, but I turn off my candle, so as I'm stirring it, the temperature is actually decreasing. By the time I'm done stirring it, I gotta wait a couple minutes, but I actually pour my candles at 130, 125-ish, because that helps with sinkholes, which is like caving, which it just caves in. You don't want that. It helps with top cracking. It helps with so much stuff. I'm sorry my screen went out a little bit. That's crazy to me. But right now, I am just simply it takes a long time because you got to be very precise on how much. And I don't know if you noticed this, but I am putting the scents in 2 different, like I said, I separate by the thing, like base. Like my pineapple candle actually got 3 components. I have the base, the whipped cream, and then the pineapple chunks. So them 3 different portions that I have to deal with. So I ended up not using it. I'm just trying to get a feel of what I'm doing and trying to make the best out of what I'm working with. I don't know why I just said that. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm halfway asleep, and I just wanted to record this video because it's been on my mind. This is me again. So the first thing I usually do is, while my wax is getting to its eternal temperature, I usually prep my jars, which is, I got a little solution, which is part white distilled vinegar and dishwashing liquid, like the Dawn and all that. And what it is, I forgot, each component helps with stuff. I think the vinegar helps with smudging, and the dishwashing liquid helps with the oil that will go into the jars, and it helps you wipe it out and keep it clean, because you need a nice little clean surface to work with. So I promise you, got like dust here and there, it's gonna show up, especially when you have a candle. And my jars are clear. They're the most difficult jars because they will see every imperfection. And sadly, with candle making, unless you do it for a long time and really understand what's going on, you will have many little mistakes, like sweat marks. Some certain waxes, no matter what temperature you pour it, what you do, you will still experience sinkholes. You will still, some of this stuff is not completely mitigated. To this day, people don't even know how to get rid of sweat marks, which is basically, you see like it look like, I don't know, it looks separating on the side or something like that. But it's really completely harmless. It does not affect the burn time. It just affects the aesthetic of the candle, which a perfectionist like me, I do not like that. Over time, you will learn to fix these problems, or for the better, at least for the most part, mitigate some of these problems, keep them from happening, preventing them. Most of the time, it is a sad world out here, and you might not be able to prevent some of these problems, or problems would arise that you will not see until weeks after the cure time. And that's usually what sinkholes happen. You don't know it's a sinkhole until you go to burn your candle and you're wondering why the wax is like going in to the wicks and whatever. So this is the first layer. And then usually when I usually do the layering, color layer and my chunks together, because I'm coloring them at the same time. So I might as well do them at the same time. So it's also like, so it's I call them toppings. My candle toppings plus layer, that's one batch. The base, so the bottom base and the top base, the bottom layer and the top layer is basically my base all together. That's another batch. And then I have my whipped cream. Well, actually, in this case, on this candle, my top layer is actually the whipped cream. So then that's a different base. So usually it will be top layer or bottom layer, the layer in the top, the toppings is a batch, and then we have the whipped cream. But on my regular candles, on my other candles, the bottom and the top is all in one go. The layering and the chunk is all in one go. So I basically just have two batches then. But I try not to let it get to me. And I don't know why, but it usually be so fun when I am doing the candle ones, because I love the whipped cream. Ever since I figured out how to do the whipped cream, I really love it. Not only I love the smell, I love making the candle because it's so fun, but it can also be irritating. Like this batch, I actually messed up on. I said it has a color layer, but I did not put it. And now I already made the record of this one, and I will have to redo it and add the layer. But I'm still gonna do it because I'm me, so I'm gonna still do the layering. Just these ones don't have the yellow layering, because I went straight to the thingamajig. And I was wondering why I had so much whipped cream. It's because some of that wasn't even for the whipped cream, it was for the yellow layering. So I just have to do this. And how you do the whipped cream, you make the batches like regular, but the difference is you let it sit out for a little bit longer. So pour time for my regular candles are around 1:30. This one you gonna have to let it cool down. So my best example is have you ever used Crisco? Basically let it cool down to it's like thick like Crisco. Or at least when you go to whip it and when you take it out, you got like a little peak. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta make a little peak, and then you scoop that thing out just like regular icing. You scoop it out, and then you just pipe it in the jars. I ain't gonna lie. My second time doing this, I got a little scared because you gotta work a little fast. You gotta go work a little bit faster than you usually do, because if you don't, you freak around and it will start hardening into the piping bag and you can't pipe it out. So you gotta move a little quick with the quickness. Look at me. I'm looking around, I'm looking at the video, and I'm just taking my little time scooping this thing out. If I don't grab that jar and whoosh it around and throw that up in there. But luckily for me, if it really does that, if you have to heat it up, for example, I kept getting sidetracked, and it's not on these candles. It was like on my little baby candle. I kept getting sidetracked and ended up waiting too late, and I had to remelt it because it was too hard at that point. Had to remelt it, and then got sidetracked again. Had to remelt it, and then when I started to whip it and actually got in the piping bag, it started to harden up real fast. I had to work real fast to the point that some of them couldn't even get out. Put a whole piping bag away because it was no good. The tip I had to clean it. Like a heat gun is your best friend because it helps you clean up. A lot of stuff is metal, like your spoons and stuff is metal, so you can just melt the leftover wax off. And if you got little plates and stuff that you're trying to clean up, you can melt it, loosen it up, and wipe it out. It's very helpful. I actually got a new heating gun that is 10 times powerful than the one I already got. So it should help because it did take some time to warm up things with the one I already had, because the one I had is for resin, but it's okay. You have not piped power. It don't take you that long to put all this in a piping bag. But I ended up piping in the piping bag and then adding the chunk. That's why I do the chunks. Usually when I do the layering, putting layers, I'm also doing the top. But I guess I just went ahead and did the little. But I usually get the chunks ready so they be ready by the time I do the whipping cream, so I can stick them in there for it to dry and it won't stick in whatever. And once I do that, I really love it. And like I'm piping, I feel like I'm doing a cake, and it really excites me. And a little update on the business. I'm gonna go on market. So if you're local to Arkansas, specifically, or if you're in the Liveville area, I think that's where I'm doing the market. If you want to check out my candles in person and whatever, I will be at those markets. I believe in November-ish, or maybe this upcoming October. I forgot the dates. I remember November because that's my birthday month. Ow. But anyway, these are my candles. I hope y'all enjoy them. So these how it look, and I hope y'all messing with them.